You're not going to believe what happened after that spooky date with Tara. I wasn't planning to see her again, but curiosity got the better of me. I mean, how often do you meet someone who can describe your childhood memories and make the temperature drop with just a whisper? So I decided to give it another shot, hoping to get some answers, or at least a more normal date. We met up again, this time at an old library he suggested. It's one of those places that looks like it's been around for centuries, with towering bookshelves, creaky wooden floors, and a smell of aged paper and mystery. It was late afternoon and the place was almost empty, which only added to the eerie vibe. Hara was waiting for me in a secluded reading nook at the back of the library. She was dressed in dark, flowing clothes that matched the gothic style of the place. As soon as I sat down, she handed me an old, leather-bound book. "This," she said with a knowing smile, "is about the history of this Liza myth." I chuckled nervously, thinking she was just trying to mess with me. But as I flicked through the pages, the air around us grew colder. She pointed to a passage about a ghost named Eliza, a librarian who had died mysteriously in the 1800s. According to the legend, Eliza's spirit still roamed the halls, searching for a lost book that held a dark secret. Suddenly, Tara's expression changed. She looked over my shoulder and whispered, "She's here." My heart raced as I turned around, but there was no one there. The library seemed darker, and the silence was oppressive. Tara stood up and beckoned me to follow her. "I want to show you something," she said. We made our way through the dimly lit corridor, past rows of ancient books. She led me to a hidden staircase that spiraled down into the basement. The basement was even creepier, with old, dusty books and cobwebs hanging from the ceiling. Tara stopped in front of a heavy iron door and pushed it open. Inside was a small room with a single table and a flickering candle. On the table lay an open book, its pages filled with strange symbols and drawings. "This is Eliza's diary," Tara explained. "It's said that if you read it aloud, it can summon her spirit." She picked up the book and started reading in a low, melodic voice. The temperature increased, and the candle flickered violently. Just as I was about to tell her to stop, the room filled with an icy wind. The door slammed shut, and the candle went out. In the darkness, I heard a faint wisp. "Help me find the book." Tara's voice joined in, chanting the same phrase over and over. I felt a cold hand on my shoulder and spun around, but there was no one there. Panic set in, and I grabbed Tara's arm. "We need to get out of here," I shouted. She nodded, and we bolted for the door. It took all my strength to push it open, and we ran up the stairs without looking back. When we finally burst out into the main library, the lights were back on, and everything seemed normal. But I couldn't shake the feeling that we weren't alone. Tara looked at me, with a mix of excitement and fear. "Do you believe me now?" she asked. I nodded, still catching my breath. "Yeah, I believe you. But let's not do that again." She laughed softly. "Agreed. But there's still so much more to discover." So, that's my latest encounter with Tara. Definitely not your average date, but I have to admit, it was one hell of an adventure. I don't know what's next, but I'm kind of hooked on this supernatural mystery. What do you think, Akash? Should I keep digging or should I steer clear before things get even weirder?